Welcome to another edition of Cereal Wednesday. I'm Poppy, and today is a Marbits edition. We are comparing regular brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts to 20% fiber brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Very exciting. I have a toaster, so I'm going to toast them. So the regular one, I promise. See? I'm going to put this one in the farther away toaster side. And then this is the fiber one. Looks very healthy for you. I don't know if it's going to pull up on camera, but it looks like whole wheat, which we will find out it is. And that's in the closer one. And it says put it on the lightest setting, so I'm going to do that. We'll let that cook up. And while it does that, we'll talk about the ingredients. Try to close the box. We don't care about box opening on Marbits, so they both open fine. So, comparing. This is the regular, this is the fiber. The nutrition size is 1 pastry in each, which is 50 grams. Calories is 210 for the regular and 200 for the fiber. Total fat for the regular is 7, while the fiber is 6 grams. Cholesterol is 0 milligrams in both. Sodium is 170 milligrams inside of the regular and 160 milligrams inside of the fiber. Total carbs in the regular is 34 grams with less than a gram of fiber, 16 sugars, and then you're left to do the math on the rest. On the fiber ones is 34 grams of carbohydrates. Also, I'll get that in a second. Dietary fiber is 5 grams instead of the less than 1 gram. And sugars is 12 grams, leaving you to do the math on the rest. Protein in the regular is 2 grams. Protein in this guy is 3 grams. And that's Twitter in the background making all that noise in case you can hear it. She's always here. It looks like the vitamins and minerals are pretty comparable. Vitamin A is 10%, C is 0, calcium 0, iron 10%, thiamine 10%, riboflavin 10%, niacin 10%, B6 10%, folic acid 10%. That's for the regular. And the differences are that looks like there's only one difference, right? Folic acid is only 6% in here, in the fiber one, instead of the 10%. And the number one ingredient in the fiber one is whole wheat flour. It's not whole grain, it's just whole wheat. And it uses the inulin from chicory root in order to pack that fiber in there. And it contains wheat and soy ingredients. Whereas in this guy, also contains wheat and soy ingredients as its allergens, but it's enriched flour as its first ingredient, and it doesn't add any fiber to it. So that's the info on that. So I'm going to burn myself, take these guys out. Again, this is the regular, and this is the fiber. So I'm going to try the regular first because I know what that's going to taste like. I've had these before. I mean, they're my favorite Pop-Tart, in addition to strawberry. They're delicious. By the way, another Marbits tip. If you want to make these really bad for you, after you toast them, put a light layer of butter on them. I know. Delicious. Tastes like brown sugar. The frosting on the top always tastes wonky to me, but I love the brown sugar inside. And the pastry just tastes like enriched flour. So let's try the fibery, good whole wheat flour one. The frosting isn't as strange. It's just there. The brown sugar cinnamon inside is actually not as gelatinous. It's more smooth, and like if you put cinnamon sugar on toast. It's much more natural. And the whole wheat flour, it tastes good. And I bet it would taste really good with some butter on it too if you wanted to try that. But we're trying to keep it a little bit healthy, right? I'm gonna take one more bite of each. I know what this guy tastes like again, but I really want to taste the comparison. Yeah, it just never softens up inside. This one becomes so beautiful inside. It's so like almost creamy, like maple cream if you've ever had it, or maple butter. It's that consistency when it's warmed up. It's really good. I'm gonna have to say I like the fiber one better. With my mouth open while I'm chewing with no milk. Swallow it down. I'm gonna go off camera and go have these. I'm voting this guy 5 bowls. Fiber 5 bowls. This guy, my favorite, has now been replaced. So 3.5 bowls for lack of nutrition, strange texture inside in comparison to this yummy good one. And the frosting on the side is a little weird. It's just overall nutrition, it's just not as good for you. So 3.5 bowls, 5 bowls. Kellogg comparison of its own Pop-Tarts, same flavor, just a difference in fiber. And that wheat flour versus the enriched. I'm Poppy. This has been Marbits. See you next week. Have a good one.